Hi, I'm Claire, and today I'm going to be making my own baby food. I am the mother of two beautiful little boys, Fox, who is 2 years old, and Desmond, who is 7 months old. Now, making my own baby food is a way that I have saved a ton of money, and also I know exactly what's in my food, and I can make tons of interesting combinations, and I also think it's kind of fun. So it doesn't take as much time as you think it does, and I hope you like this video, and I hope you learned something. The first puree I'm making is a savory puree with chicken, garlic, carrots, sweet potatoes, and brown basmati rice. I'm starting off cooking the rice in my rice cooker. I'm really just terrible at making rice. For some reason, every time I make it, it's either like mushy or like crispy at the bottom. So I broke down and went to Costco and got a rice cooker, and it has changed my life. So I'm all about that rice cooker. So I'm putting the basmati rice in and letting that cook while I get everything else together. Next, I'm gonna cut up my chicken. Some people like to boil their chicken. I like to bake it. I think it's a little bit faster. So I'm just going to cube it so it cooks really quickly. These are just boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Now I'm going to put them in a 9x13 glass dish, and I'm actually going to put some minced garlic on top. Garlic is super good for you, but also I think it's good for your baby to have like some different flavors, something like a little stronger and less bland than just your average like baby food. And this is kind of something that I learned from my first time around with my 2-year-old. We didn't add any like spices or anything to his baby food, and now he's a giant turd and only eats toast and strawberries. So maybe this will work, maybe it won't, but we're making Desmond eat garlic. Now I'm just gonna throw this in the oven for 15 minutes at 350 degrees and let it cook. While that's cooking, I'm gonna fill up my pot with some water, and I'm gonna put it on the stove to boil my vegetables. I have a nice portion of carrots that I'm gonna peel and I'm gonna cut up. Now, I don't know if this has ever happened to you when you try to cut like a squash or sweet potatoes and they're just like super hard and you just like are breaking your hands in half. A quick hack, you can just throw that potato in the microwave for 30 seconds. It won't get super hot and burn your hands, but it will cut like butter. So do that, it will help you. Next, I'm just throwing them all in the pot to boil. They'll just simmer for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. You'll know when they're done when you can smush them with a fork. Now, instead of using a strainer, I'm going to scoop my veggies out because I'm going to want to use that water later. Now I'm going to start adding my chicken and a couple scoops of the basmati rice. And now is where that water comes in. This is my beautiful Immersion blender. This is from KitchenAid, and it was like 30 bucks and worth every penny. I used to use a baby bullet with my first son, and I mean that worked okay, but I couldn't really make huge batches, and there was like a lot of parts to clean, and it took up a lot of space. And so when I got pregnant the second time, I went out and got the Immersion blender, and it is amazing. I definitely would recommend using that for me. Now I'm just going to scoop it into ice cube trays. Now I like to use the silicone ice cube trays just because it's really easy to get it out and I don't have to like, you know, whack it all over the counter trying to get the food out. So I use the silicone trays, but you could use whatever. This is a pretty large batch, so I'm going to save some out for Desmond's meals for today and tomorrow, but then I'm just going to pop this in the freezer and it'll be there when I need it. The next puree I'm going to make is a sweet puree, which has apples, carrots, spinach, and prunes. First thing I'm going to do is cut up my apples. These are Gala apples. I just kind of use whatever apples are on sale as long as they're not too tart. Desmond really hated the one I made with a Granny Smith. I am going to combine these with carrots. I find that carrots make a really good combination with apples or anything sweet. And I'm actually going to boil them in the same water from my first recipe. So obviously only do this if you're doing these 2 batches at the same time. But I find that I might as well use like this nice hearty vegetable broth I've already made. Now I'm going to add my spinach. You can steam or cook your spinach before this point, but I find that using this hot broth is just fine in making it soft enough to blend in nicely. Now I'm going to throw in some prunes. I often use prunes even sometimes in my savory purees just because it's a great way to add a little bit of sweetness and it will keep your baby regular. I'm just going to blend this all up until it's smooth. This puree won't take as long or as much muscle as the first one to get it to the right consistency, because it doesn't have that meat in it. So it only takes a few minutes. And now, just like before, I'm gonna spread it over some ice cube trays, the silicone ones. Once they're good and frozen, I throw them into a Ziploc bag and I label it with what's inside and the date. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it inspired you to get out there and give this a try. Making your own baby food is not nearly as hard or as time consuming as you think it is. You could do it once a week or once every other week, or if you want to make like a big giant batch and you have a ton of ice cube trays, you could probably even just get away with doing it once a month. So I hope you give it a try. Leave me a comment below if you do and you discover any cool combinations. I'd love to try. Desmond would probably like to give it a try too, so let me know. Make sure you hit the like button if you like this video and subscribe for more mom stuff, lady stuff, life stuff, all the good stuff. See you in my next one. Bye! The camera! Say hi!